back to another episode of Big Combos, the show that discusses the conversations that no one else want to talk about, sensitive, touchy, the ones that are held behind closed doors. I'm your host, Kamalo. This is
Manny.
And today's topic is, has the generation before us failed us? So, let's go straight in, bro.
Let's go straight in before we do.
Cheers.
Toast. You know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
Okay.
So,
what do you think?
before we even get into what we think,
Yeah, go
let's get some definitions out of the way. Yeah?
Failing us.
So, what do you class as fail?
Let down.
In what way?
To be let down in I don't know. I do know in ways that are important. How to live. Yeah, how you should live. Example of how to live.
Because you're obviously living.
Yeah, I'm living. Yeah. Because not in that way. Because I'm just
there.
breathing in it. But that's just breathing.
Yeah,
in
but,
it. And the heart's just beating.
But you got a roof over your head.
Yeah, exactly. So things like that. Yeah. In that respect.
Have the
But
level of failure.
I'm not said that they have or haven't.
And are we talking about as a generation? Obviously, we're talking about a generation.
All encompassing.
But personally. Yeah. Would you say your generation within your circle of
so me and you have had certain conversations in the past, innit? Where at one point in time, I'm not dodging the question. Politician, them. I'm channeling my inner Boris.
Okay, go on.
Nah, I ain't got no inner Boris. That's a lie.
Go on.
Yeah. So we've had conversations before, innit, where we've said they failed us. They fucking failed us. They shit. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. But
let's be more specific because some people's imagination might run wild. What did we say?
I think we was talking about things like, economically saving money, building economic stability for future generations, those types of things, innit? Like, and that's a serious thing. Do you get me? Emotionally, sometimes I think the older generation, that I don't know if they failed us there, but again, at one point I would have said they just failed us. It would have been straight, flat out, that's a fail. But then as time's gone by, my perception of their so-called failings has changed, because as I've grown, I've understood that everything is not as it seems in the way I'm looking at it through a young person's eyes,
and
then from expectations
and comparing
to other this and that. So you start to you don't start. Well, you do kind of start to realize you can't do that. You have to look at your unique individual circumstances, and then you can look at collectively. I think collectively some of the things they could probably have failed us, which you'll surely get into. You get me? What do you think? What's your definition of failings?
Definition of failings is I think personally they may have failed themselves.
Okay.
And through failing themselves, they had no choice but to fail with the next generation.
Okay.
And for me now, like, obviously there's different cultures, different traditions, different everything. And what I seen growing up, was the adults doing a lot of partying, weekly, could be 3 days a week, different them days house parties, and the interest in the parties could have been in investing, could have been in the kids,
You say the kids have?
How?
Has a part in...
Alright, then look at this. Then no one took... I used to play basketball hard, football for a little bit. No one took me to a game once.
Okay, like that.
Never. I took myself.
But it was invested in going to the
took
parties.
myself to parties all over the place, bro. How does that work?
All over the land.
No one. And this it's the little things. No one sat me down, and this is what I'm saying, failed himself, because did they know? And I'm not just talking about mum, dad. This uncles.
Everyone
it
else.
goes down. It goes down. Even family friends. Like all I've heard is the village grows a child.
Yeah. But
no one in the village did it.
Didn't see no one actively.
But everyone in the village linked at the dance.
Yeah, true.
How does that work? And there's some people in the village that did on the side quietly invest. So their input growing up was probably a little bit better. They were given 1 and 2 gyms and brought properties, went to uni, did 1 and 2 different things, But we both went to uni. Did they fail us in that sense then? Or was that a status thing for them to say?
I went myself. I went for my own reasons. No one ever judged me.
To go.
Now, to be honest, he always wanted me to go, but I don't think it would have been my choice. Do you know what I mean? And obviously the reasons why I went are very different.
See, I didn't want to go uni.
Yeah, you didn't want to, but I remember when you changed your mind. And why you changed your mind?
Why did you change my mind?
You tell the people you changed.
Go on, you tell me. I can't remember.
You can't remember?
No.
I can't remember even.
Well, if I'm going to be honest, I went to uni because you went to uni.
Okay.
And showed it was possible to go to uni.
Oh yeah. So there's that, yeah. But obviously, like, honest. Yeah, okay, if you're going to be honest.
My dad tried and push me my whole life and I didn't want to go.
You didn't want to go. So with me, because where we're from, innit? Yeah, things happen, innit? So because things happened, I just thought, you know what? Gotta get out of here, mate. And that was my first big. That's my first. That's what. Okay. So I know you. So I know you told me because of me, but I also know the other reason.
That was my main reason.
That was the other, exactly. So yours was the same as mine, but you get me. Mine was I gotta get out of here now because this is.
And just to the public know, I got into some drama where
tell the people
without saying too much because you know what. I'm not gonna say a lot. I'm not gonna say nothing.
That's what I'm saying. You say, "I know what to say, not no fear." You know, there's a time when a hot minute. There's a time
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
This
podcast is about being brutally honest. Real, bro. I got involved in some madness. Someone's tried to kill me.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I was gone.
Anything to declare?
But the reality is, it was like, you know what, I can stay here and stay in this madness.
Yeah, it's for real.
Or go.
Yeah. And that's
and experience
some life in it.
Listen, there's the best thing I ever did in my life.
And this is the thing in it, because normal people, and we're normal, but just in normal situations, people leave home to go to uni to have more experience than what it is that they're around every day. So obviously you went to experience more than you was around, and I went to experience more than I was around. But at that time, like so many of my friends, were just getting wrapped up in it. Do you know what I mean? They just be like, it's like I said, it's out of a movie. You see the local Bobby come round and he's trying to hassle everybody. It was that.
Yeah,
it was hassling people for nothing. And you'd mind your own business, going to show, wait there. Do you know where you going? Have you seen so and so? You're asking me if I've seen my friends to tell you for what purpose? Do you get me? So then it just became very claustrophobic. So I got a UCAS thing through the door in it, and it was clearing, and I sent it off. I didn't tell nobody. I sent it off, and about 3 weeks later, I got the offer. So I said to the analyst, I said, "Mum, I'm going uni." She goes, "When?" I said, "In about 3 weeks." And obviously in 3 weeks, just, you know what I mean? And I dipped. But it's a part of me as well. I think the generation before us, right, they made their big trip from, say in our case, Jamaica. Other people would have come from different places, other islands in the Caribbean, some from Africa and that. Would have made their trip. Everyone's journey would have been different, But that was the first brave thing that they did. Do you get me? But they did that brave thing expecting something here, and then when they got here, it's like it must have knocked the wind out of their sails.
The Empire Windrush brings to Britain 500 Jamaicans. Many are ex-servicemen who know England. They serve this country well. In Jamaica, they couldn't find work. Discouraged but full of hope, they sailed for Britain. Citizens of the British Empire coming to the mother country with good intent.
Because they weren't able, then some of them, like my nan, she came here, obviously wasn't feeling it, went to America. Okay. No, she went to America, that's where she died. You get me? She was in Miami. So she did the trip again. So many people probably just got not even complacent, just probably just couldn't move again in it. So me moving there made me realize, like, yo, there's a whole world. When I used to tell my friends at uni, what's popping in my life, they used to look at me like, what the hell are you serious?
Same thing,
Like, and I thought this was normal. So ultimately, I realized that this isn't normal for whatever normal is, but this ain't what normal, the average person. Now it's more commonplace, I think, now, which is sad. But,
so, okay, go on, sorry.
But I'm saying, but it wasn't normal. So me, as a generation now, I'm another generation that's got to take some responsibility in it. So with my experiences, I'm trying not to fail my son and your son and your daughter.
So before we get to that bit there, because that's what we spoke about like earlier, breaking the what was it?
Generational
curses. So do you think that was a failure in itself, being brought up in that environment?
Do you know what? I could say yes, but to be fair, when I grew up, it was my parents went to an area which was good. But then, as always, when you're close to the city, what happens is, after a period of time, they do different things, don't they?
Why don't y'all take a look at that sign up there? See what it says? Cash for your home? You know what that is? It's billboard. What are y'all, Amos and Andy? Are you stepping and he's fetching? I'm talking about the message, what it stands for. It's called gentrification. It's what happens when the property value of a certain area is brought down. Huh? You listening?
Yeah.
They bring the property value down. They can buy the land at a lower price. Then they move all the people out, raise the property value, and sell it at a profit. Now what we need to do is we need to keep everything in our neighborhood, everything.
So they move one person in, then they decide we're just going to, with
Everybody,
that there. Everybody, because they don't care, and we're going to get you and put you over here. Do you get me? So what you're going to do, you can be playing chess for the rest of your life. Do you get me? Our parents, both, had to struggle to get us into the school we went to. You didn't want to, you know what I mean? Because it was out of the area.
We went to go Lee Mason or
it wasn't, and they weren't having it. So then when I say,
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, to my mind, it's very easy to say, oh, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. But they know they did what they could do.
They did the best.
They did the best that they could do, with the with the resources what they had. And then
that's not a failure then,
and that's not a failure. So like things where my mum failed, when I say failed, not failed, things that my mum wasn't uber confident with, for example, she used to pattern up with your mum. So your mum wrote a bag of letters for my mum when it came to certain things, innit? She wasn't stupid. She knew that she got it done. This is not my realm of whatever. When it was time to get militant, my mum stepped in. You know what I'm saying to you? You know what I'm saying to you? It was you get me? It was an unspoken bounced off each other. It was an unspoken. It was softly, good cop, bad cop. You get me? We need the diplomatic letters and understanding, and then we need to get cursed out. Like, don't try it because we're not having it, kind of thing. So don't even think. You better you just move that to someone else because you're gonna have a bag of problems. Everyone's coming down here, so in some respects, they didn't, but then, you know, we got to also acknowledge where they got it right, mate.
So far, I'm not hearing any failings as such right now.
Well, so what were the failings?
And I'm not trying to find any failings. It's just a question that we're
asking. There are some. I can
give
say
me one
some.
then. Give me one.
All right. And also, there's a point I'm trying to remember that thing because he was talking about with Theo. I don't want Theo to talk about that himself because obviously it was his own situation. He had an example to give. But a failing, I personally can say, is where I don't think, can't speak for every type of parent, but I think particularly some West Indian parents, they never ever looked at what was working in other
families,
communities.
Full stop, yeah.
Do you get me?
And see if we can take them and take that to
right.
Our,
so okay,
our
so
village.
I was talking to someone the other day, like, so I've got an Asian friend called Kavita in it, and we was talking about, like, cause a lot of my Asian friends now, right. They started off the same place in it, but then there might have been 15 of them living in a house. It's become apparent to me that they bought that house.
Yeah, long time.
And then they moved to another one. 15 of them and bought that house. And then moved to another one and bought that house. And then 20 years later, what you got?
20 houses.
Okay. And when I was at Amazon for a little bit, I noticed there was like a couple of like 14 Romanian man that used to pattern up driving in it. And now you can make like $3,000 a week there. So what they used to do is the ones that was the quickest would finish their route and then open their next bridging.
Help it. Everyone just helping.
So then you got 15 man busting $3,000 a week. For a year. How many yards is that, or whatever it is they're doing?
Cash.
Car washes.
They've got their own shops, car washes, you name it, fruit and veg shops, whatever.
Right. So the next thing is running a partner forever. But why is it everyone's get their? Sorry, but she stopped.
It's not legal, mate. It's not legal. It's not legal.
No, it's credit. It actually is credit union. Credit union. But anyway, right. When everybody gets there, when everyone does their part now, don't ain't fucking looking. Everyone's just, I'm God.
Do their own thing, yeah.
We have to buy this.
But you know what? That's how it was designed in the beginning, though, because I heard that in the beginning, no banks were giving no loans, there was no jobs.
That's
no
exactly
nothing,
what it was
everyone had to put together to get their own house. But so it hasn't evolved.
It has to. That's the way you go into the words out of my mouth. It's the same thing.
Still me. And also, not only that, how many partners have crumbled because someone's ran with the money?
Well, look, I'm saying
trust.
But when I spoke to Kavita,
the
point is, right, I forgot what she called it. I'm going to have to get the word. It's going to flash on the screen now, because she's going to tell me the word. But it's the same thing as a partner. But they use it in just the same way that I said you should use it. So it's about evolving. So in those ways, I would say that in that kind of particular situation, they've failed us like that because you could have done better.
So did you think they knew better? Because the generations before them, they obviously didn't show them how to do it.
But in the generation before them were back home and it wasn't going through what they were going through. It was a different world. Do you get me? So they wasn't in that
But
same...
partner came from somewhere.
Yeah, but then I think they would have been more happy where they were. Do you get me? But they obviously had ideas of what they thought they needed, and this was the place where they was gonna get what they thought they needed. Right?
Streets were
paved with gold. Yeah.
Well, believe me, I am speaking broad-mindedly. I am glad to know my mother country. I've been traveling the countries years ago, but this is the place I wanted to know, darling London. This is the place for me.
So when they got here and it wasn't what they thought, like, it's a madness in it. Like, I don't know what that did to them, but obviously they never fully recovered from that.
I'm thinking about it now, maybe going to all them parties and whatnot,
escapism.
It was escapism, but that's where the community was
meeting.
You know, and so they weren't allowed in any pubs, they weren't allowed any wherever. So that's where the community was, and it's unfortunate that no one in that place was discussing investments.
And 1 and 2 was, I mean, the man who owned the Shubin, he was clever. He was clever. He was getting his subs.
Of course. He was clever. He was getting the bar. He was getting
the bar. He was getting everything in it, like and everything.
But it's not everyone.
But it's not everyone, and that's what I'm saying. But this is that. So that's where they're failing, isn't it? Because it's the idea of just. And we talked about being selfish in it, and obviously, like, the world's complicated in it because there's being selfish, but also you got to build. Do you get me? So now, like, our thought processes are very different. We look to build. Do you get me? When I'm talking now about property and this and that, I'm talking to my cousin, I'm talking to my friends and saying, look, boom, and we're sharing the information. And also everyone's getting out of this, like, for a long time. Many people that we know are not in this party thing. And what I realise when I'm around all my friends now is everybody brings different experiences to the table. And most of the time, we can actually pull from each other's resources and do things. We've got a lot of ability within the people that we are. Speaking to Diki yesterday, and we was talking about what was it called? Something Holmes, innit? Yeah, that he was like he is a compliance officer for. And I'm thinking, I've been trying to do this stuff for the past 6 months, and the whole time this man was here with this information. My cousin's saying, oh yeah, we're doing that because we've been placing people into the. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So you've been, do you know what I'm saying to you? So sometimes it's a simple case of you have to, like. It's a shame how the conversation came about because it only came about because we all came together for reason. You know what I mean? But we need to do more of that. Do you know what I mean? So
this is another thing because we haven't got nowhere to go. And
but we have though.
Where
we have? Because I can go. We can just meet up.
Yeah,
now you got the metaverse, mate.
Yeah, true still.
Get a VR headset and get a room in the metaverse. We don't have anywhere
to socialise.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this innit. I'm gonna say now. Yeah, we haven't got nowhere to socialise so much now because of this COVID business, innit. But
even before that,
but what I'm saying is, bro, it is really, it's us, innit? It's for us to say. You get me? Because when I had my birthday the other day and we had the thing and that, it was good, innit? Like, I don't celebrate my birthday, so we just had some, Saturday little food and that. But what was really good for me wasn't the fact, it was the conversation. Do you know what I mean? And the level of where everybody was at in their own individual life experience of what they was doing, and how it also kind of like there was a synergy with different things that people could actually benefit from getting together just to see where everyone's at from time to time to say, oh, we can do this, we can do that. Even just talking to Theo just now, and obviously the whole KTNA situation, I don't care about even necessarily doing anything, but it's nice to meet them because I like their music. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you're not having like discussions outside of nonsense, then it ain't never gonna. Do you know what I mean?
So maybe that's where the fair. Cause I'm trying to keep it back on this generation failing us.
Yeah.
You know.
So do you think they failed us? Wait, Phil, do you think they failed us?
I sat down with my nan and granddad, and they told me what it was like when they first landed here in it, and how my dad went. They're from Wolves, and they went to Chapel Ash. And my granddad knocked on doors after doors after doors for jobs, and they were turned away. And there were signs like literally saying no black people,
no blacks, Irish or dogs,
no black signs, no dog, literally. So like when my nan gives me these bits of information, it's amazing to see how far we've come.
Exactly.
And like when I look at life now and there, it's completely different things in it. So I can't blame them because they only know what they know. Where people that are already here, majority Caucasian people, British people, already have a level of understanding of
how the system works.
Very true. So you know this. So just I want you to carry on in it, but that's the thing because you see, like even when I talk to my brother, my brother's like he's a welder, and obviously, if anything happens, it's like me mum died, got the house. You know what I mean? Got the house, me brother. Do you get me? My brother's got a couple of houses already, but we just split that. You know what I mean? It's different. Do you know what I mean? Like that's something that we needed to get to, which is what we're trying to get onto now. But anyway, you're saying, Karen.
And that's why I think that's why my nan and granddad would always say, go get a trade. Because in my family it's kind of the same. Because my Uncle Dean, he's a lecky, he does an electrician.
And it's good.
He's about trade. And when I grew up, because I was the only boy in my family, so go get a trade. Go get the
trade.
Was mad on
To get a trade,
So coming back, it's like they had to go through what they had to go through. It's sad that they didn't have the knowledge and information to give to us or for themselves to build for us. But at least they had a house full of 12 kids that were able to be safe in it. And so from that perspective, like they did what they could do in it. And where with my dad, as much as a lot of people say a lot of bad things about him, but they say a lot of good things about him, it's just like he has helped me become the person I am today.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd probably be just in a job in it. My dad's done a lot
He's
for
a
the
hustler.
community.
Yeah.
Help people in the community. Gone to Jamaica, built hotels and chalets and all of that, and provide jobs and toilets for schools and shit like that.
Was he a builder by? What is his trade then?
Nah, he's just an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Really.
Okay, hustler.
But like, he's just a lot of people didn't support and see the vision.
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
So for me to see that from a young age, it's allowed me to say, I've done what Nick's, I want to do what he did. But then as I've grown up, there's a lot of, when I was younger, a lot of people used to say all these things about him and resent and all this, that and the other. But as I've grown up, I'm like, he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, man.
Because if he didn't do what he did, all of y'all probably wouldn't have had that experience.
What you got, yeah.
It's a
that's what you call the black sheep in it, going the other direction. Because if everyone else is going to parties, do you get me? Yeah, if everyone else is going to parties, then, and he's doing the entrepreneurial thing, like they can't see in it, and this is the thing that a lot of times people can't see, bro. Do you get me?
A lot of people can't see.
You can't see. So
the mindset of people, man.
It's the mindset, and it changes. It takes this is what that whole matrix thing is about. In it, one man can make a difference in it, but somebody has to have the vision in the first instance. Do you get me? So yeah, go on.
My whole thing is as well now. Yeah, this is where. And I don't. It's failure is a hard word.
Because failure, it's a bit deep, isn't it?
It's a bit deep.
It's a bit deep to say someone's failed.
It's hard to say that they failed.
Okay.
However,
and that's not to say that some haven't still failed, bro. Because some didn't try their best.
Some didn't try.
Right. Okay.
And some are straight waste.
Straight waste.
However,
call it like
inheritance, man.
In it, big thing.
Trust me. Like, how's the next generation
can't jump? That's why to jump in it. Supposed to make an exponential jump. It's like
we're literally 5, 6, 10 generations behind, based on no inheritance, no life insurance. Like, as some see it as the basics.
But in a way, it's supposed to be the basics.
It is,
because it's like, you know, say that technology doubles every however long. Yeah, everything tends to double in it. It's exponential compounding. When you're trying to trade, you're trying to compound interest. It's your money's building that way, and it should be the same with generation. So even if you weren't able to hit that level in your passing, what you leave should allow your next generation to actually jump past the level that you got to, and a little bit more. So then now they should be able to grow off the back of that. So then in that respect, again, you might still not have. It's not a win, but it's definitely not a fail. Do you get me? But most of us, it's a win. Okay, it's a win. But most of us, what we're doing is wherever you left off.
We're in a worse situation.
We're in a worse. We've now got to take care of whatever you know what I mean, and we've got it's counterproductive.
I think that's where the pressure is on men. Literally provide for every generation that's coming now. With everything that I do, it's never just for me in it. It's just man. For men, especially being black and trying to catch up, I feel like it's a massive catch up game right now. The catch up game is like, in my head, it's just like, it's not for me in it.
And I don't think we can catch up, man.
Nah, we can't, bro.
No. What I mean is individually.
I don't even want to hear that.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Individually, unless, like, I'm talking about people who are well. All right, then. While I was at uni, in my first year, this guy I know,
we can catch up, bro.
Adam,
we can catch up.
woke up in his bed, and
I'm just gonna leave the catch up word in the thing, yeah.
Adam, and this is years ago now. Yeah, so Adam was left like 10 houses.
Oh, Adam's nice.
And probably 800 grand. Yeah, we're talking house in Scotland.
Adam best not have messed it up.
Adam, just used to love a bit of
weed.
Nah, not a bit of weed. He used to powder his nose a lot.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, is that fair even? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Adam's like, whoopie doo. Whoopie days, man. You get me? So anyway, Adam's kids now. Adam, I know Adam's flipped that already. Adam lives in China now.
Okay. Yeah. He's where he's at.
He went to China and became an English teacher.
Oh, got my cousins there.
And he's got kids. So when he married a woman in China, the Chinese family gave him like, I don't know, 100 grand for marrying his daughter.
Yeah, that's what they do,
and whatever, 200 grand. Yeah. You get me? So that already, his kids, his next generation, because we've got 10 houses, probably turn that to a mill. So when that inheritance hits them, it's already a mill. When that inheritance hits them, it's gone. So when I say we can't catch up, individually, unless you're gonna win a lottery, 25 mil, and even then, that's individual. I'm on about as the village.
But here's what they're saying: the village can catch up. Yeah,
it can. How?
It can catch up. I don't think I feel like we've kind of veered way off topic here, but the village can catch up. Yeah, and I'm not gonna waste time going into that. But I will say, there are things out there in it. What the village needs to do now, for example, which my parents didn't do with me, again failing in it. They used to say, go school, learn your lesson, this and that. I was fucking deputy head boy.
Is that failure though?
No, it's not. Because listen to what I'm saying to you. I was deputy head boy, Kamalo, would have been head boy in it. But obviously the teacher left, at least to love me to make me that.
You're never going to pass Dean.
Right, nah. Miss Walsh loved me.
Dean Thompson had it, mate, from day one. Dean Thompson had it from day one,
bro. Anyway, Anyway, my thing is this. Why am I going to school doing all of this shit, being second to Dean Thompson, if when I tell you something, you ain't listening to me? Based on what it is, this education thing you've told me is to do. So I'm using this education to tell you, yo, buy this now.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear it. You want to tell me about some nonsense. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right, and I see the signal in the background, You want to tell me about some nonsense. So that in itself there is a kind of failing. Because if I'm telling you to buy the yard, because it's pennies and it's going to grow up. Listen, I said if they would have listened to me, bro, I used to get the Allsop catalogue when I was like 14. And you see Al Jumeirah Island, which is the Palm Island in Dubai. Bro, I was looking at them islands in that Allsop catalogue as a young buck, knowing what I knew. And they was on at 40 grand for a yard there. Like, back 10 years later, man, like David Beckham and that, bought them, bro. And I'm thinking, look at that. No one ain't listening to you. You're saying, look at this. This is what no one ain't listening to you. So you see, like, when your kids are doing things now, like, you're saying, oh, bun Roblox. You best know that Roblox is what's next. That's the metaverse right now that they're playing with. And when they're building these castles and all this shit, take an interest. Oh, yes, that's a nice castle. No, mate. Know that that's something. And if you push them in that direction, I'm looking at certain Bitcoins and crypto coins that was like 40 pence and 80 pence last year, and they're like £4 now. That's like going from flipping £1,000 to 40 grand in 12 months.
But, so, all right, then, so
dollars even,
but this brings us on to the next bit,
which you can't
breaking
generational curse.
The generational curse, because these are the we've lived a certain lifestyle, good or bad, and it brings back onto we're not having to go at our parents.
Nah, definitely
we're not having to go at the village, whoever.
Yeah. I want to say something in support of our parents. So obviously, recently we've had a bereavement in it, but the man that passed away, bro, even on his deathbed, he was calling my brother, saying pattern through my mum, pattern this, pattern that, pattern this, pattern that. So I'm looking at him thinking, wait a minute, even when a man's missing, he's still taking care of things. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So the one thing that I learned, irrespective of anything else, the going out and dancing at the fight, bro. This is why we're still here, despite so many attempts to eliminate us. We can't be eliminated. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And that is the one thing, and it may be one of the most important things. It might be, bro. Do you get me? Because it might just keep you in the game. And the bottom line is, as long as you can wake up to the BS, it's never too late. As long as you're here. Because for some people, I bet you some of the certain Navajo Indians would have loved to be going to the dance every day if they could still be here now to pass on the gems that they've got today. But some people are gone, missing, extinct. We're not. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's certain things that they didn't do and they could have done better, but it's not too late for us to do them.
So how do we go about breaking this
generational curse?
Yeah, and I don't see it as a curse.
Yeah,
it's more when you know better, you can do better.
Yeah. So I think we're breaking it.
I don't think they knew.
I think they didn't know. They didn't know. But again, certain things that I realised, it's like when he was talking to I can't even say that because I don't want to bring anyone else into what it is I'm saying. But I realised, is someone, and I can't because it's not me, it's someone else and it's going to affect them. So just like, he's talking, you have to cut through it. I know I'd have to cut it because it's going to affect them, innit? They might be willing, but no, so I'm not going to bother. But, when we was talking about, I noticed like with my uncle and my dad, I didn't know this until recently, but there's things that they've taken on board. Like that, we talk about generational curses and trauma, things that they wouldn't normally acknowledge, innit? So they're kind of acknowledging that now in their old age. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So saying to me like, yo, talk to this person because you know that they've got a lot of trauma because of this and this. They're telling me this. I know this already. But it was good for me to realise, oh, so you acknowledge that then. And then obviously that means you not know where this came from, and that means you not know that you're also complicit in that happening. So you're asking me to try and help administer what it is that you've done, because maybe you're not going to be, you don't know how to administer it properly, or you're not going to be here to deal with that, so you're asking me. That's good. Do you get me? So it's never too late, bro. If you can be knocking on, it's never too late. So we have to talk about it, which is what we're doing now, but then not just talk. Do you get me? We need to action.
One failure I would say, that I just popped into my mind, which I don't think we have, even through these conversations, not we, but as a generation, is ego and pride.
Oh yeah, bro.
Like, that generation
we need to have a minute on that though still, because we're only the 1 minute, so we have to have a minute on that. Ego and pride, we can't ignore that. I know for one personally, like my elders, lots of ego, bro.
Too much, and the pride. Listen, half of my dad's side of the family, like immediate uncles and aunts, and I don't care if they're watching this, because they need to hear it, man. They don't talk. How come 7 brothers and sisters don't talk to each other?
Listen, they're gonna need each other.
One day, you get me, 7 brothers and sisters don't talk, and you know what happens? Then I don't know how it works, but then the cousins
then
don't
start
end
to
up
fall,
talking.
get into that nonsense.
And that's the generation curse I'm talking about. And then
we ain't on that though.
And like my kids, none missing. I'm not gonna say all the cousins, because obviously I do talk to some, but there's some that when we were young growing up.
You grew. I don't know. I was there, bro.
Close.
Like, how does that happen? That can't happen. But then we used to say this as young. This is what I'm saying. We're different, bro. Because we was younger. We used to say pride is an embezzler. It takes away from you what you're supposed to have. Your pride, because you're supposed to have some. I'm not asking for that. I'm not begging it. Begging what? If you're entitled to it, then you're just asking for what you're entitled to. You're not begging nothing. And then the ego. Many people think like, I'm not gonna knock people's egos, because maybe sometimes you do need your ego.
You don't need your ego.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't. Personally, I don't.
And that won't make you say sorry.
Yeah, all of that.
It won't make you forgive.
Yeah, some people you say
it won't make you accept the person for who they are.
Who they are, exactly.
So because they're not the person who you want them to be, and accept that, you're not gonna talk to them no more, or you're gonna diss them. They find out you diss them, and that's
what a lot of them older generations did. So enough of their good relationships with people that they was tight and close with, because of their ego and their pride. But then they didn't have didn't have the tools in it to address what was going on. They had no. You know why I say that? Because we're gonna talk about this soon. In spirituality over religion. They had a religion, but they didn't have spirituality. So
I've got religion. It's supposed to forgive.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, you are supposed to forgive. But a lot of people, religion. I think what religion does. What's the word? I need the word. Religion gives you something else. It's not ego. It kind of is ego, but it's not. But I'm just gonna keep it simple in simple terms. Religion sometimes gives people this feeling of being better than other people. Do you get me? Because I go to church, I'm better than you. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So then, there is a forgiveness, but you probably feel like you might be condescended to. Like someone's trying to talk to you from and that's another thing. So we've gravitated and grabbed hold of this church thing, and again, it's caused some people in the older generations to have a divide, because now you feel like you have to prove you're my brother and you go to church and I'm a hustler doing whatever. I now feel like I've got to prove everything I do to you because you're better than me, but you're not.
And it's not seen in the eyes of
in the Lord. But you might be going to church, on Sunday, but then having 50 affairs from Monday to Friday and just asking for forgiveness on Saturday.
Go to church in the morning, in a rum bar in the evening.
That's what I'm saying. So you get me? It's a perception of things, innit? And then this is again because sometimes people are weak. Yeah, that's all they need. It's like, yeah, God forgives everything. No, mate, take some responsibility for what you're doing and stop yourself. Don't look for the forgive. Just stop yourself.
Let's get back to the failing. That's one failing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand by that failing.
Yeah.
Ego and pride.
Yeah, you're going 100%. I agree.
Standing by it, man.
I agree.
That's one of the biggest failings I believe that generation had, and they didn't teach because they've lived in it. Yeah, they haven't taught us how to not live in it.
Not to live in it.
And I think only because we've seen the effects of it,
Yeah.
we're choosing to live differently.
Yeah, for real. And we are.
You know.
Yeah.
So how long we got to?
That's us, man.
Wrap.
Yeah.
So concluding, yeah. What's your conclusion? Let me ask you the question again.
Have they failed us? To me, as you said, like, I'm gonna say this because obviously it was tricky to have this conversation. 'Cause I used to previously think before, to some degree, they had more than what it is. But as I got older, I realised it's just multi-layered in it. So they haven't really failed us. They could have done better. Do you know what I mean? But the thing that I identified in terms of the fight probably didn't. They probably failed us in certain respects, but because they've given us fight, and I believe, honestly, I believe that we have got so much more fight than many people, which is no coincidence why certain things we're good at, because it just requires, you know what I mean, just heart to just keep going. You get me? So we're good at certain things, and I think that's been bred into our DNA. So yes, you did mess up on certain things, but you gave us that. So I think if we are mindful of where we are and what we need to do, it doesn't need to be that. And obviously, when everybody is on a level playing field, the world's going to be better because we can all just be proper. We're one in it, but we can all properly be one. So we need to now take the things that, like, not focus on what we ain't got, focus on what we have got, and build on what we have got to get to where it is we feel like we need to be.
Good point.
Do you get me?
Good point. Not living the past.
Not living the past, bro.
I believe, like I said, ego and pride, living in that. Other than that, yeah, I believe they tried their best.
They tried hard still.
With
some of them, most of them.
Most of them.
We could have talked about. I used to cut. Yeah, could have talked about. And this is the thing, just probably because of the day that it is for me today. I could have talked about the ones that didn't do nothing. Do you get me? Because that's where the failings really are. But I'm probably just not giving my energy to them today. But another day I will put them on smash, because there's certain man that didn't do what it was meant to do. Having a bag of children and not being the fucking dad to a bag of children. You are a piece of shit. Whoever you are, who's got any 1, 2, 3 children, yeah, and you don't see them, you're a piece of shit. Bottom line, and you can come from me. I don't care. You're a piece of shit. You're not worth nothing. But it's not that day for them.
And the thing is, though, let's put it into context.
Oh, and also, no, sorry, because again, circumstances, innit?
Circumstances. Some man have got 5 kids out there,
yeah,
and live and treat the 2, 3 with them and their family unit very well.
Yeah,
you get me? I don't agree with that.
Nah, you need to
I just believe that if you've decided to have a child, that's your responsibility.
Exactly. Do your part.
Play your part.
Obviously, if you've done some madness, you've ended up in jail and you can't be there for them, or it's happened to you, it's still your fault. But I understand that you probably was trying.
If you're out there and you know you got kids, you're not investing emotionally, physically,
anything. You just don't care.
And you're not.
You just don't care.
You failed them, man.
You failed them.
No, you failed yourself.
Or you're rather pretending that they're not yours when you know that they're yours. And do you know what I'm saying to you? Like,
and this is our opinion.
It's my opinion. It's not facts.
And
it's not any kind of facts.
It's my facts, though.
But I'm saying it's facts for me. But I'm saying it's not facts for the world.
For the world,
it's just
because
facts
some people may, and even if you don't get on with the mum
and that,
like, I don't care. It's no excuse. The kid ain't done nothing wrong, and we're going off the subject. Yeah. But
those, I'm just trying to say that you might seem like a very not very getting on people. It's not that day for me to be getting on people, but it's not that I don't know that there's people out there that have flopped. Do you get me? But it's not that. There's another conversation for that.
And in saying that, they could be going through mental health, could be going through.
That's why I'm saying that this is what I'm saying.
Going through a lot of their own issues.
So if you look at this is what I was going to say. So it's not everybody who's not there for their children that is a piece of shit. Not
the ones
everybody.
Busting champagne.
But it's the one. I think we need to be specific. Yes, so to be specific, the ones
that
are busting champagne, living life. You've got money. Yeah, you're doing okay.
Hello, you can.
And repeating the same thing, but they could have came from that. They could have seen their dad do the same thing.
Yeah, you probably saw your dad do the same. So you know what? Then I'm gonna take. I'm actually gonna backtrack on my word in it. Yeah, you're not a piece of shit. But here's what you need to do. Yeah, go see somebody in it. Get help. Realize that you're not doing right here and fix yourself up in it, because ultimately that's going to carry on to your children and your grandchildren. And I know if you are not a piece of shit, because I don't believe any man is evil, if you're not a piece of shit, which you're probably not, as I say, I'm going to retract my word, then you're going to want better for your children. So this is that time for you, to break the generational curse of what your dad was doing, and don't do it to them. Somebody told me yesterday, which was powerful, that my dad helped her heal her rift with her dad. And many other women that she knew, my dad helped them heal that rift. Things like, you talk to your dad and whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? And they had relationships with their dad. So I know that in some small way, it's affected their lives. So I'm saying to you, like, your child wants you to be in their life. So don't be a deadbeat dad, innit?
What do you want?
I want to see my son.
After almost a year, what's changed?
He's my child. I just want to see him. I miss him.
Fine.
Thank you.
I'm at home.
I'm on my way now. Thank you.
Your dad's here. Who's that?
All right. Hello, son. You okay?
I'm alive.
Can you take a picture of me and him, please?
Yeah, go on. That's fine.
Here's my phone. Here's son.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Yeah, they look good still. Respect, yeah. Have a good day, alright, son.
Are you serious? Was there even any point?
Some dads, the mums moved on and got a new man.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you still can't be in their life. There's so many different situations. We can't literally judge anybody.
But that's why
But I want to congratulate you for that, because that goes back to what we're saying about ego and pride.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Some people wouldn't have backtracked and assessed what they've said and apologized and looked at it in another light. I've got to
my brother.
I've got to acknowledge that.
I feel
you get me? Because this is the generational curse. Because you can do that in a podcast.
Yeah, because I'm not
going to the world.
It's gonna be seen, innit?
You can
mistakes
do that.
in real time.
You can do, and you're showing you're only human, bro. Sometimes we say things, and if we're gonna
Through
be
emotional
honest,
places, man.
We're gonna be honest. You're going through a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't have said that last week.
Yeah.
The week before. You get me? But some things can trigger and come out not as how you'd want it to come out.
For real.
But if you can do that on a podcast,
for real.
you can do that to your kids.
Yeah, for real.
You can
And
do that to
you have to,
your parents. You can do that to anybody, a friend, and realize that, you know what I says may have not come across how I wanted it to. So let me address it how I
tell
want
the truth.
to.
Say what I want to say, not what I think
Thank
I want
you.
to say. So
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So in conclusion, you've proven that we can be open and honest, and do what's right.
Yeah, man.
So if you and that's what I'm gonna close on. If you do right, it's very hard to go wrong.
For real, that's true.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Say nothing.
And the generation before us, I believe they did right, because you can do the right thing, the wrong way.
The wrong way, yeah, for real.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they were doing a lot of what they thought was the right thing, but just the wrong way. So I forgive them all.
Amen.
And it's made us who we are. And there's no such thing as failure. It's only lessons, and maybe we've had to learn from their lessons.
Mistakes, and you got to learn from lessons.
And there's not even no mistakes.
Not even the mistakes.
It's just lessons.
Just lessons.
That's all.
Do you get me?
So, moving forward, let's close it there.
That's it, mate.
And
so for me,
let's be the generation. That is the change.
That's the aim.
That is the
aim. I think
aim.
we can do that still.
We are now breaking that link.
We can do that still,
and becoming the change we want to see.
Which is going to take us into our next podcast, which are coming soon. Actually, I'm not going to say them just in case whatever crazy reason we change our minds, but I think they're going to be the ones. But yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in. We forgot to say, listen, like, comment and subscribe. Hit that like button because it helps the algorithm, and follow if you appreciate what we're doing. And on top of that, more importantly, you know what as well? Please, so many people hit me up in my WhatsApp saying what they're saying and leave me voice messages. I don't know everything in it. I'm trying to learn in it. Sometimes what people have said to me after the fact have made me change my opinion and evolve my thinking around the topic. So in order to help me evolve, you're only going to learn by hearing different perspectives, innit? It's like 100 different points of light. My point, his point, Theo's point, your point, and all the points of all the different people in the comments that are going to lead to a certain level of enlightenment, innit? So if you've got something valuable to say, don't just say it to me, because I'm getting the benefits of it, but the people that might have also watched the podcast aren't getting the benefits of it. So you need to keep it real. If you can, because I know some people don't want to put themselves out there, so fair enough. But for you who don't mind, don't worry if you disagree with me. It's fine. I'm not gonna beef with you if what you say makes sense. And even if it doesn't make sense to me, I'm still not gonna beef with you. I'm just gonna say, well, here's where I'm coming from. And then if you could back where you're coming from, we're gonna get to a place of understanding, which is better for all of us. So yeah, that's it.
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
Let's continue this conversation.
For real.
It's been lovely, as always. Adios.
Yes. Wolves and leopards are trying to kill the sheep and the shepherd.